Hey everybody, David Burns with you again. Nice to be back with you for another beekeeping video. A little different scenery today. I'm not in a short sleeve shirt because it's colder outside. You can tell it's fall and it's cool. It's like only 40, 45 degrees right now. Normally I make my videos in the morning, but I'm gonna make this one in the evening, about an hour before sunset, because I want to do an experiment on a hive. Even though it's cold, we're going to get into a hive and do a little experimentation. I've always wanted to do this. Can you remove honey supers in really cold weather? Because the bees theoretically would be down in the deeps, clustered nicely below in the deeps. Nobody's at home in the supers up above where your honey supers are. Can you go up there and just walk away with the honey super and no bees in it? I don't know. It may have to be a little colder than this, so we'll wait till about sundown. But that's what we're going to do today. We've got some cool new things to share with you today. We'll start with one. Look at this. I know what this has got to be. I don't get a lot of boxes like this, and I'm gonna kind of guess that it's gonna be another coffee mug. And even though this is almost sunset, I'm still gonna have a cup of coffee with you. And so I can still drink coffee late in the evening, and I don't have to worry about, coffee keeping me up. So I'm still gonna have a cup of coffee with you. And I'm sure this is what is in this box. One time I made a video and I opened up a box because I knew it was a coffee mug. It wasn't a coffee mug. It was something like, something for the business, But take a look at this. This is a new coffee mug, just like I thought. Wow. Oh, that's cool, look at that. So this coffee, oh, look at this. Comes with coffee. This says, Ruck Roast. Look at that, that's beautiful. Thank you. Let me just look at this note here. That background noise is one of the delivery people picking up winter bee kinds that are going out for shipment. Look at that. I'm gonna try to read it backwards. I can't. Love your channel, we are learning a lot. Look at that, that's nice. Thank you guys. Oh, and look at this coffee. Wow, I'm gonna smell this in just a minute. Oh, the mission of Heroes in Transition is to provide assistance to veterans in need. Wow, I fully support that. Man, look at that. Let's open this up. This is what I'll, if it's already roasted, I'll go in a little bit before coffee time and grind it. Oh yeah, it's roasted. So we'll be able to have a little cup of coffee here in a little bit. Awesome, well thank you so much. Any of you that want to send a coffee mug for me to have at coffee time on these videos, you can go to our website, find our address and do that. And I would appreciate it. And I'll feature your mug in coffee time. Look at that, that's awesome. Cape Cod, it's got Cape Cod on there, see that? Nice, all right, cool. Also, let me tell you about merchandise, merch. We're gonna be offering some t-shirts for our YouTube channel. Let me show you what it looks like. Look at this. So what you see here is the t-shirts that we're having made for our YouTube channel. We'd love for you to get one. They're long sleeve and a picture of me in front of my camera, and I'm holding a frame, signature, so you can wear one of our t-shirts. And we're making these available right now. In the description, there's a link where you can go on and pre-order these. We're taking pre-orders from November the 11th through November the 25th. So you can pre-order these. And let me show you this one. So they come in the long sleeves this time of the year. And also you can get a hoodie, a sweatshirt. Look at that. Got a hood. There you go. So go ahead and check out the website links below for the merchandise of the shirts and I'd love for you to be wearing one. Don't forget, also in addition to the merchandise, you can also buy one of our new beekeeping books that we published a few months ago. Visit our website at Honeybees Online and you can get purchase this, a signature. Sherry and I will sign this book for you, and we've got it autographed ready to go for you. So be sure and check out our website. Especially those of you that are new to beekeeping, wanting to get started, this is a good beginner's book. If you're already keeping bees and you're a real advanced beekeeper, not much advanced information, this is made for the new beginner beekeeper. You still may want to read it for our stories and just the voice of Sherry and me talking. You may want to get that book. So got those available for you. Those of you that have ordered our Winter Be Kind winter feeding systems, just to let you know, we've been waiting for the weather to get a little cooler before we ship those out. So today's the first day that we've started shipping out our Winter Be Kinds, and we're going to ship those out in the order that the orders were placed. So if you placed your order yesterday, you're not at the top of the list. Be patient. All of you be patient. They will arrive. Your bees should be strong enough to get by for a while, even before you put the Winter Be Kinds on. I don't put my Winter Be Kinds on usually until we get closer to Christmas or even the 1st of January. Like I said, my hives usually have enough stuff on board, enough resources to make it through into January. But some of you may be panicking, thinking that you need those right away. Sorry, we just can't ship them until we get cooler weather, because the way we mix them, they have to be shipped in cool weather. So be looking for those though. We did send out a lot of boxes today, and Wednesday's about the last day we ship. We don't want them stuck on the weekends, so probably ship a bunch more this coming Monday if the weather stays cool. Okay, so I want to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do right before sundown. As I mentioned earlier, we are going to get into that hive. We're going to check out if you can actually remove supers when the weather's cooler and the bees are clustered down below. The only reason that's not going to work is if the bees are so large that they're not clustered very tightly, or maybe it's really not warm enough at 40 degrees for a tighter cluster. And so some of the clustered bees may be spilling over into those supers, and I just don't want to remove bees out of supers. I don't want to brush them off at 40 degrees. We'll see. I might. As long as you don't pull brood out and you go pretty darn quick, it's not a big deal. But we'll just play it safe and make a decision at that time. Oh, by the way, please subscribe. And we're nearing 50,000 subscribers. We're closing in on that, and I want you to subscribe. I was thinking about that this morning. I have a room with a lot of trophies in it, and medallions and medals and things that I've accomplished in my lifetime. And not that that really matters that much. It really doesn't. Sometimes you work really hard to get a $35 plastic trophy. I understand that. But one of the things that I want to do before I die, and I don't know if that's going to be really soon, I feel pretty healthy, but I want to achieve 100,000 subscribers, because I believe, not positive, but I think YouTube gives a silver plaque if you achieve 100,000 subscribers. So I've got this theory that if I make 50,000, that then all I have to do is encourage each of you to encourage one more person to subscribe, and that would be 100,000. So that's something that would be fun to do. I've worked hard over the last decade or two making YouTube videos, and it would be good to have a little bit of show for it, a little bit of way to say, there goes my driver, pickup driver. But it's kind of rewarding just to say, man, I worked a couple of decades making YouTube videos, and look, I got the silver plaque, you know. So anyway, that's the ultimate goal, to reach 100,000 subscribers. A little hard to do in beekeeping, I think, because it's more of a niche, you know, specific niche. I'm not a YouTuber that does crazy stuff and gets 2 million hits off a crazy video, you know. So those of you that are subscribers, you're kind of loyal people. You're friends of mine. We've known each other for a long time through YouTube and social media, and I really enjoy you watching. So please do subscribe if you haven't, to help me achieve one of my goals, one of my dreams, people. Okay, so subscribe down below. Anyway, I'm going to suit up and turn the smoker on, get my smoker going good. Plenty of fall leaves sitting around that I might throw in the smoker to keep it going if I need more smoker fuel. Just have that ready. I do suspect the bees are going to be a little bit flighty on it, but that'd be a good little experiment for us to jump into a hive and see, can you remove supers? How many bees are in honey supers at sunset when it's about 40 degrees outside? So we'll take a chance and see if we can get that done. If not, we'll wait for a warmer day and take it off. And if not, we'll leave it on for winter. Not a big deal. A lot of you have been intrigued by my winter classes that I teach, my approach to overwintering your colonies. And I would really encourage you to take my winter class. I'm a little concerned about COVID-19. As of this date, it's getting really, really bad, getting worse. And so I'm becoming more cautious in what I'm doing because I was cautious back when the numbers were low, and here in Illinois and across the country, numbers are really high. I say all that to encourage you to be safe and stay healthy, but also when spring comes, I don't think we're going to be ready to jump back into a lot of public activity, which might affect beekeeping classes. A lot of you may be wanting to take on-site classes where you go to classes at colleges or universities or beekeeping clubs. I don't know if in January, February, and March, when we do that, if it's going to be a safe enough environment with COVID-19 to be able to go back and resume in public classes that we're used to. And so fortunately, we've had online courses for many years now that people have really, really enjoyed. And so might want to just go ahead, play it safe, get going on some online courses from us, and you'll be ready for spring. So follow the link down below in the description. So keep that in mind. All right, well, let me suit up, fire up the smoker, and then we'll jump in a hive. Well, I didn't get a chance to go out towards sunset. I got other things that came up. Now it's early in the morning at 30 degrees, but the sun's hitting the box, and I noticed something interesting about just touching the box. You know, this feels pretty cold. This feels hot. That feels cold. On the side, this white part feels very cold. Same temperature. Cold, you know, cold, cold, but it's just this raw wood kind of with a little leftover red paint on it is extremely warm. If I don't know, I may try to find my thermometer and measure that, but I'm not sure where my thermometer is. I can just shoot a beam on it, but it's making me wonder if it's better off not to paint boxes. You know, we do know that white reflects, right? And darker colors absorb. So I'm intrigued by that. Anyway, first I thought, uh-oh, the cluster may be right there because it's really warm, and I was reluctant to try to take these supers off. I'm going to leave this super on, but I still got to remove the queen excluder down there. So I've got a lot of work cut out for me. Anyway, it's about 30 degrees this morning. And I would have gotten out here earlier, but I slept in till about 7. So I was going to kind of come out here before sunrise and do this. But you know how life goes. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and light a smoker, pop this off, and see what's involved with the bees in this first super. And then I think I'll go from there. If they are indeed down below that queen excluder clustered, I could rob off those those 3 supers, but you know, nothing's ever going to go the way you want it to. Let's take a look. Well, actually, it's a beautiful morning, and the bees have still got to be clustered pretty tight because of we had a load last night in the mid to upper 20s, and so, you know, it's pretty cool for bees to cluster, and it does take them a while to warm up. Today, the high is right around 55 for a high, probably around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And so I still have time to catch them while they're still clustered. I'm only lighting this smoker, you know, just for the fact that if I find the bees really high up in these supers, maybe eating it, moving around a bit more, I want a little more defense. I want a little bit more calming factor that I can turn to in that case. If you never know what these little sticky out things are for right here, it's for your thumb to go in there like that to keep your sleeves down. I'm going to wear my gloves because this is not your typical inspection when bees are flying and getting nectar. All the bees are home. All the bees are kind of in a winter cluster type environment. And they're attracted to movement, noise, sound, and all that when they're clustered like this. So always wear good protective gear and have that smoker ready just in case you need it. I'm not going to smoke anything like you would a normal inspection. And just try to open it up and start looking. All right, so we'll just try to be as quiet as we can. The problem with trying to be quiet is the propolis is very, very hard this time of the year in cold weather. And the only way to, loosen the propolis is to break it, to snap it. And that's going to make the bees hear that noise. I wish I could do something that wasn't this noisy. See what I mean? The boom. All right, let's open up before the bees get up here and start wondering what happened. Okay. Darn it, there's a lot of bees up there. Look at that. I mean, they're right in between those frames. So that means the cluster is high up. We might just have to lose these 3 supers. Let me show you another thing you can do in a case like this. I don't have to take these supers off. I just thought maybe I would. I do have to get the queen excluder off. If we look between the supers, when you break a propolis seal like this, you'll never really get it to seal again unless the weather warms up. So what's going to happen, you're going to have to leave something heavy on top. Let me raise this up and we'll just take a look what is beneath it. I expect some bees to fly out. Yep, look at that. That's the winter cluster. A group of bees there. I've come to the conclusion that this is what has to happen. We can't take the supers because there's bees in them. I want to take these 2 off at one time, but that may be way too much weight. So I think I'll just take them off. I think I'll take this one off, set it over here, take this yellow one off, put it on top of that one, and then I'll take this one, the third one off, put it on top of that one, maybe put a top cover on it to keep everything warm and intact, rip off the queen excluder, put everything back together in reverse order. That sounds like it might work better. Well, as you can see, the bees are flying around. They're kind of sitting on the outside a little bit. A lot of them are going back in, but many are just sitting there enjoying the sun. So I wasn't able to do my plan where I was hoping that these would just be deserted of bees. This hive is full of bees in all boxes. That's how large it is. I like that. I think it has a good chance of making it strong through the winter. With this much honey on board, still finding small hive beetle in there. Have to deal with them in the spring. I could put traps in now, I guess, but might do that. But kind of want to leave this hive alone, and it will get sealed off again. We have some days coming up where it'll be 65 in a few days. I think this weekend, and that warmer sun will help the propolis kind of get soft enough to reseal this hive, set back down for winter good. I haven't wrapped it yet. I haven't wrapped any of my hives. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But if I do, I would just take insulation like that, wall insulation with paper on it, and I might show a video on that, but wrap it all the way down, block off the entrance with an entrance reducer, wrap it all the way down to the bottom board, and then put the winter bee kinds on, where bees will now go in and out through the top opening of the winter bee kind. That keeps mice out, and it gives bees that are high up here in the winter on a warm day a chance to take a flight and defecate, clean out their guts. Anyway, this hive is where I want it to be at this time of the year. I knew I had time to get that queen excluder off. I don't mind keeping my queen down in the bottom, but now I want to let her, as winter gets here, as we get a little cooler, I want her to be able to go up with the cluster and not get deserted down below. So if you leave a queen excluder on like this, and the cluster moves into these supers for food, your queen can't get through there. She'll be deserted down below, probably left down there without enough bees to keep her alive. She'll freeze to death. So always remove your queen excluders before winter. Wow, I'm talking about the most beautiful sunset ever. And now I see some deer out there in the field. It's just beautiful. Coffee time today. I want to talk to you about how to take 3 sections of your day, dedicate 15 minutes in 3 sections to doing something very relaxing and or something that you thoroughly enjoy doing. Now, these can be serendipity, like throughout the day, you might just say, oh, I think I'll just sit down and watch the sunset for 15 minutes. Or you may plan it. You may say, tomorrow I'm going to wake up before sunrise, get a cup of coffee. I'm going to spend 15 minutes just thinking about nothing except watching the sunrise. Or you may say, I'm going to spend 15 minutes soaking in a bubble bath. Maybe longer. I'm not saying, you don't have to stop at 15 minutes. But you don't want to do it in 10 minutes. Dedicate at least 15 minutes to doing something that you thoroughly enjoy doing. Well, today I spent 15 minutes watching the sunset with a cup of coffee. That was really, really enjoyable. And I spent 15 minutes today doing something, it was kind of serendipity. My youngest daughter, who's in her 20s now, and she wanted to come over with my 2 grandsons and just hang out for a little bit of part of the day. So they came over, and the oldest of her 2 sons, he's 7, JD, and he was born premature, and we bit our nails for a long time hoping that everything would turn out well, and thankfully it did. And he's 7 now, very brilliant and strong and healthy. But he's very inclined to be into gadgets and to math and gadgets, like electronics. And so me being in ham radio, this is my call sign, by the way, K9EZE. In ham radio phonics, we say Kilo 9 Echo Zulu Echo. But he spent longer than 15 minutes, but that was our goal. We got in front of the ham radio and we just dialed in different stations, and I let him turn the dial, dial in on a station. There's a guy talking there. Let's tune in there. And we dialed into a guy in Nova Scotia. I immediately responded to him, and JD had a ball turning the little knobs and turning on the button, turning on the amplifier, tuning the antenna on ham radio. And so Nova Scotia is, from where I live here in central Illinois, about 1,300 miles away. is where this operator was. Had a nice conversation with him, talked about the weather. Ham radio, you don't really get deep into conversations unless you want to. Usually it's just, hi, I'm David, I'm from Illinois, it's cold, I'm freezing, I'm having a cup of coffee, what's going on in your life, and what kind of equipment are you using? You know, I have an ICOM 7300 on an off-centered dipole antenna. What do you have? You know, stuff like that. Occasionally, conversations will go a little deeper when we talk about what do you do for a living, what's your hobby. But for the most part, we just enjoy making a contact with somebody else in a different part of the world sometimes. I've talked to so many different countries. It's been so fun. I'm still trying to reach all 50 states. I haven't done that yet. I've got a handful that I still have to do. And some of those are very close, like Illinois. Ham radio, you need to talk to somebody far away. This isn't CB radio where you can talk to a guy 5 miles away. So I've still got to get Illinois, Indiana, you know, close by states. I think I still need maybe Nebraska, and I think I still need to make contact with somebody in a northeastern state, and it might be Maine, but I'm not sure about that. So anyway, that was another 15-minute section that JD and I liked. I like spending 15 minutes or more with my grandson, just showing him kind of one of my hobbies, something I enjoy doing. And then the other 15 minutes that I spent today was that I spent 15 minutes making a video with you. I really do enjoy that. Look, I've got a t-shirt to prove it. Done that, got a t-shirt. You should get a t-shirt. And so I enjoy making a video. You would think that I would make more videos as much as I enjoy doing it. So think about that for coffee time today. You might have to plan it for a few times to get into a groove, but you deserve 3 seasons of your day, 15 minutes or more, where you can specifically relax or do something that you enjoy, and just spend that time doing it. Might be reading a book, you know, 15 minutes, get away, read a book. Might be watching a favorite show, relaxing. I don't know what it is for you, but it's one of those things that if you don't do it, you're not going to do it. You have to force yourself to do it. I learned a long time ago to block out time like that. And it was a little painful because you would have to make yourself unavailable. At times I would tell my secretary that, hey, I'm not going to be available for the next 30 minutes or next half hour, an hour. No phone calls, no interruptions, boom, not available. I like kind of doing serendipity now. My schedule isn't real crowded where I have to keep a tight schedule anymore, you know, when you own your own business. But I like just doing it serendipity. Like that means just like whenever I want to, like surprise. I think I'll just sit down and watch the sunset, or I think I'll just sit down and enjoy a cup of coffee with my wife or something, you know, for 15 minutes. We'll just talk and enjoy our company with each other. My wife and I, Sherry, oh my gosh, we are so in love with each other. I hope that doesn't sound awkward, but you know, it's really crazy that we're together all the time. We own our own business, so we work together. Can you imagine working together all the time with your wife or your spouse and, you know, still loving each other? Because that can, you know, running a business can be hard and challenging, but we enjoy spending time together, whether if we're working or playing, whatever. Wow, we cannot get enough of each other. And we have been married a long time. We got married in 1980, so you can do the math. We've been married for 40 years, and we have 6 children, and we have 11 grandchildren. My point of saying that is we've been through the good, the bad, the ugly, you know, when all of your kids had the chicken pox at one time. Back in the old days, you could get, all your family could get chicken pox, you know, your kids. Now they have vaccines and all, but there were times when all the kids were sick at one time, you know, not enough bathrooms to support the sickness. We've just had a wonderful life though, and we love each other so much more now. I don't know if it's fair to say that. Maybe that's not the right way to word it, but I don't know if you can love anybody more. It just came out that way. You know, it's like we're still in love and we're adding to our love. Yeah, I don't know what you would call that. But so anytime that I spend with Sherry is just so wonderful. And she really does feel the same way about me. And I don't know why. You know, I wonder, I think sometimes, why would somebody love me as much as she does? That is so crazy, but it's fun. I've got to show you these deer walking around. Hang on. It's so cool. They're right out here. And I don't know how the camera will treat it, but I'm going to spin the camera and let you look at them. Well, you think after living here for 16 years that I would be kind of bored of watching wildlife, watching 15 deer walk across the field or watching, 30 geese fly overhead. You would think I would just be like, yeah, there goes some geese or goes deer or something. But I guess that's why I love beekeeping so much. It's fascinating to me to really enjoy nature and watch nature, wildlife. I love it. It's just so relaxing. Okay, well, coffee time. Pick out some things in your life, 3 sections a day, where you can just set aside some time to do something that you really enjoy. Find some time to get away and do some things. You know, if you're a workaholic, stop being a workaholic. My gosh, calm down. Just figure out a way to not work all the time. Don't be thinking about work all the time. Stop it. I mean, wow. Let's enjoy your life. Enjoy relaxing and spending some time doing things that are not work related. You've got to do that to stay mentally and probably physically healthy. Just being able to do that. Oh, by the way, this is something that I bought once I became a licensed ham radio operator. And if you're a ham radio operator, I wish you would take time to try to locate me on the bands. I'm usually on 20 and 40 band. I don't get on 80 meters a lot, but I'm on 20 meters and 40 meters a lot. And I love Old Miss. That is a net. I didn't really think I would like nets. It's when it's more of an organized way of communicating with each other. You kind of take your turn trying to reach people, and when it's your spot to talk, wow, that's a beautiful sunset. But I like Old Miss. I really enjoy it. You can go online and look up, I think it's OMISS, and look it up on the internet and get online, and maybe you and I can talk on Ole Miss. OMISS, and maybe we can make contact with each other. You'll just have to remember my call sign. You'll see me in the list there, and we can talk that way. So a lot of fun things to do. Even though the pandemic seems to be worsening, we might even in Illinois have to be on lockdown again, believe it or not. By gum, that's not going to keep me from loving and enjoying life. And enjoying my hobbies, enjoying making videos, enjoying my bees, enjoying sunset. I'm going to enjoy it so much. Nice to be with you, and please subscribe down below and help us to reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's going to be cool. And I hope this video was helpful to you today. A little more talking, a little more interest in beekeeping. If you're not a beekeeper, it is still something that you should pursue. It's fun, it's enjoyable, and we have spring coming up, believe it or not, once we get through winter, and you're going to enjoy it so much. Okay, well, I'll see you next time, and enjoy tomorrow with 3 times of doing nothing but 15-minute sections for yourself.